Day 2, magnesium soaking challenge. The question of the day is, what do you soak in? And is what I want to do is focus on what you don't soak in. My name is Kristen Bowen. I'm the founder of Living the Good Life Naturally. I'm a magnesium advocate, and I've been doing magnesium 30-day challenges for almost 20 years, and I'm really excited about this one. We don't want you soaking in plastic. The reason being that molded plastic of a bowl cuts the uptake of magnesium. And that's why we're soaking, to achieve cell saturation. So no plastic, none. Now, the next question some people have is, but wait a minute, my tub's plastic. I've been soaking in my tub. It's not the plastic of a tub, which is sprayed on, it's that molded plastic that there starts to be an issue when people are soaking. So your tub is okay. Now, we have found that those people that have the newer finish that almost looks like brass, the magnesium can cause issues with that finish. That's the only time we've ever experienced that or had feedback from that from people. So that newer finish, you might have some issues, so you'll want to be careful. But tubs are fine. I wouldn't do it in a jacuzzi tub. We don't want you soaking in a jacuzzi tub because the magnesium could cause issues with the jets in that tub. Now, if you joined me on my Walk With Me series, you know how passionate I am about sunshine. And you might be wondering, why does this woman have sunglasses on if she's so passionate about sunshine? And it's because we didn't plan our date night so well, so I hurried and left the movie so I could come out and do this live. And it's so bright that I can't even see the comments. And so that's why I've got my sunglasses on. So the other thing that you don't want to soak in is aluminum, because when you soak in aluminum, you uptake that aluminum. We don't want that aluminum on our brain, just like you don't cook in aluminum. So we want to be really careful it's not aluminum. Now, it used to be that I would say soak in stainless steel. And stainless steel is a so-so thing to soak in. And let me explain to you why. For example, you can go to PetSmart and grab a Great Dane water dish that's big enough for someone who has really large feet. But that Great Dane water dish is aluminum coated with stainless steel. We don't want you to soak in that because eventually the magnesium will rust it and then you'll have access to that aluminum. So we don't want those cheap powder coat bowls. If you have a really high quality stainless steel, absolutely you're fine to soak in that. But make sure you're wiping it out every single time, completely dry, and rinsing it, because magnesium chloride is a salt and it will start to rust the stainless steel. My very favorite is glass. I like to use Pyrex casserole pans. And if you have really large feet, they'll fit in that. And they're super easy to find. You can find those at a thrift store, garage sale, or a big box store. Some people like to soak in a crock pot insert. Now that's really nice in the winter time because the crock pot will actually, just the insert part, not the crock pot plugged in, but the crock pot insert will actually help to keep the water warmer when it's cold outside. And I don't like the crock pot just because it's so heavy, but some people love a crock pot. The thing I do like about the crock pot is it's super easy to find, and a lot of you have that in your house. So those are the ideal things to soak in. Because remember, the goal of this 30-day challenge is to get to cell saturation. That's where magnesium surrounds every single cell on your body. When that happens, your active D and your stored D starts to get in the proper balance when you add lots of that beautiful sunshine. And so, one of the things that we're going to talk about later on, but I want to talk about this one thing today. And that is what drains your magnesium. And later on in the challenges, we'll go into what drains your magnesium. But does anybody remember yesterday, our day one challenge? I want to share with you what drained my magnesium. So, my goal on these challenges, my goal on this one, all of them for this 30 days, was to keep them shorter than the Walk With Me series. Sometimes on that Walk With Me series, I would get off and go, oh my gosh, I meant for that to be 20 minutes long, and I talked for 45. And I've had a tendency to do that my whole life. And so I was like, okay, this is it. I'm getting on. I'm only going to say very sentences that just say exactly what they need to know on that first day for what kind of magnesium they need. And then I'm getting off. Well, guess what? I was so worried about not going too long and keeping it short and concise, I couldn't even think of what words to say. Now, if you've known me for very long, that's not one of my problems. I can always think of words to say. But I was so caught up in keeping to that agenda and, you ready for this? Doing it perfectly. That I couldn't even think. I couldn't even process sentences. And so that drains your magnesium because that's not me. I was trying to be something that I wasn't. Very succinct, very linear, very to the point. It's not how I'm wired. Now, I do have a responsibility to you to make sure that I give you good information. My goal and responsibility is to give you really good information to help connect you to what will help you. That's what I want to do. That's the desire of my heart. But I have to do it in a way that is authentic to me. And if I'm not being authentic, that drains my magnesium. And so yesterday, I drained my magnesium. And I drained it so much, my cortisol during that live, I do not get nervous to do lives. I get really excited because it's a time you and I get to connect. And during that live, I couldn't even think. Like I couldn't even find the words. I was like, and next. And I got off that live so sad and frustrated and like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And so I journaled about it last night and I realized I was trying to be something that I am not. I love to connect heart to heart. I'm not a super linear person. I'm not someone who goes like this and checks off all the boxes. Now, people who are, what a beautiful gift and skill that you have. We are all wired differently, and my brain is wired differently. And I jump around and I think of something that might be really helpful, and I want the freedom to go there. And so, a lot of times, people will say, once you get toward the end and we start talking about getting your magnesium tested, and that's coming up, but people will get there and they'll say, my numbers aren't where they need to be. And there are obvious things that we're going to look for. But I want you to recognize there are patterns in your life that walk you away from holding on to your magnesium and not being authentic to who you are, trying to be someone else, trying to please other people. That walks you away from holding on to your magnesium. Cortisol goes up, magnesium goes out. So, let me introduce myself again. My name's Kristen Bowen. I'm not a linear thinker, and I'm okay with that. And these lives are going to change a little bit because I want to be really authentic to who I am. Because when we do that, when we live to our highest self, we actually control the flow of minerals in our body. We control that flow. And one of the concepts yesterday, or maybe the day before, that I learned really powerfully was when we get closer to those things that we want, we sometimes push our power away because we're not comfortable with being that powerful. And that's one of the things in Core One, the power of a magnesium mindset. While you're creating health, you have to become more comfortable holding on to your power, because as you create more health, you create more power in your cells. And if you're not comfortable with that, you're going to continue pushing health away, because with more health comes more power, comes more responsibility, and comes more accountability. So, yesterday, my big learning curve was it doesn't work for me to try to be somebody else. It doesn't work for me to try to please all the different comments. Some people will say, "Oh, Kristen, go longer," and some people will say, "Oh, Kristen, you talk too much." I can't please all those people. I can be me and show up as the best version of me. And when I'm doing that, I'm holding on to my magnesium and I'm controlling the power and the flow of minerals in my body. And you think of it, our thoughts, our actions, that helps us. I don't want to get run over. That helps us control our magnesium levels, because, like yesterday for me, my cortisol went up when I was trying to be something that I am not, and it pushed that magnesium out. And so, even the thoughts that we think, the words that we say, the actions, the patterns, the beliefs, they're all a part of what's controlling that magnesium flow. So, I just wanted to reintroduce myself, and I'm not going to try to be something that I'm not. And I do squirrel a little bit, and sometimes my videos go a little long. My goal is that that video will have something that will help you, that will inspire you, that will educate you, that will move you to action. Because when you take action, that's when you start creating a strong foundation for health. And that's everything. When you do that, you stop chasing symptoms. You stop having a cupboard full of supplements that you can't even remember why you bought them. If you've got that, you've been chasing symptoms, and it's exhausting. It drains your finances and it sucks up all your time. And I want to take that time to be with the people that mean the most to me. Now, one of the things that I think is really important for everyone to do is to know their why, and not just know it in their head, but to actually write it down. Write down your why. Why do you want to be healthy? Because there will be days that you're overwhelmed. There will be days you feel too tired. There will be days you want to give up. Healthy people have those. The difference between a healthy person and a sick person is your reaction to that experience. And so I want you to write down your why. And then when you do, tag me in this video and say, "Kristen, I wrote down my why." I have my why written down several places. And the 20 years that I've been doing this, my why has fine tuned itself. And it's just gotten better and stronger, more detailed, more clarity. And I want you to have clarity in your why, because as I work with women over the years, the women who have clarity in their why are the women who create health. It's not that they have a perfect journey. It's not that they had it easier than other people. It's they had clarity in their why. And just having that fuel helps you hold on to your magnesium. And this 30-day challenge is all about keeping your magnesium levels high. Now, because I didn't plan my date night very well, the movie was still going, I cannot see a single comment because I've got to have my glasses on to even barely see the screen and make sure I'm in the right place. So I'm going to throw some comments up on the screen, and I have to tell you, I have no idea what they're saying. But here's my promise to you. I will go back and I'll read those comments and share some more thoughts. And those comments will help determine some of the things that we're going to squirrel on. Now, every day during this challenge, I am going to give you one little tip about soaking in magnesium, how to do it more efficiently, what to soak in, how long, when to soak, what happens when you soak that you didn't think would have happened. We're going to cover all those things. But my name's Kristen, and we're going to squirrel a little bit. And I want to know your why. That was our squirrel today. Being authentic to who you are, owning it, not being embarrassed of it, claiming it as you, and claiming it as a gift. Yesterday, I didn't do any of those things. I was embarrassed of it. I wanted to hide it, and I tried to be someone else. Very linear, very succinct, and very to the point. And it's just not me. And I'm learning to be more and more okay with that. And as I do that, it increases my capacity for joy and it increases how much magnesium I hold on to. So, share with me what was the most important takeaway for you from our time together today and the cars outside of the movie theater for a great date. And I'm now going to go connect with my husband and find out what happened at the end to the movie that we just watched. Have a great day.